My name is Adam McLean. I am an assistant professor of movement and stage combat here at Indiana University. I am a certified teacher and a fight director with the Society of American Fight Directors. Stage combat's the illusion of violence, and there's 1,000 reasons to study martial arts. Most people get into it thinking it's a good form of self-defense, so there's a lot of closing of the distance or manipulation of the body to cause pain or damage. With stage combat, you want to give the illusion that there's being pain and damage, and not really do that because it's acting, and you have to, 7, 8 times a week, actors are asked to swing swords at each other, so it has to be very safe because there's a certain amount of precision, there's timing, there's distance, all those things you find in martial arts, but for the stage they have to be utilized differently so no one gets hurt, and we tell the appropriate story for the audience and the director and all that. Our bodies as actors, when we walk onto a set out in front of an audience, we're telling a story whether we want to or not, by default. So if my posture is bad, just because this is the way I was raised, and I walk out into the space as this person being unaware of my mannerisms, I'm telling a story. And you can have an emotional depth and psychological depth, but those things have to be presented through the body. Everything comes down to making a physical choice because we're bodies in the space. And if you're not making the appropriate physical choice because you don't have the awareness of your instrument, then you're doing yourself and the audience and everybody a disservice. If you're the actor, you've been in the shoes of that character probably long before I showed up as a fight choreographer. Typically we're the last ones called in and the first ones asked to leave. So with that being in mind, that I tend to work under a lot of time constraints, I would rather talk to the actor and say, what is it you want to do to this guy? I want to break his heart because he broke mine. Great! How can we do that with a sword? That makes a lot of sense. And I go, if you take the tip of that sword and try to stab him in the heart, you'll crush it, you'll break it. And they have a psychological or emotional connection to that desire or that impulse that I can then physicalize or give them tools to physicalize it or give them options to physicalize it. And therefore they tend to own the choreography not only as the character but as the physical actor in the space that moves in a particular way, because my job is to make them look really good at what they're doing. And so if I can latch onto impulses and shape those, it'll be much more rooted in the character and much more rooted in the physical actor that's doing those moves. And it's much more exciting. It takes me out of my game too. So it's always exciting to live in that moment and kind of go, what's going to happen now? I don't know. Let's figure it out. We have the crux of the story and the text of the story and the plot holding us down. Beyond that, let's go. It's a lot of fun for me.
Nice. A little slow and specific.